Now, Kathy Birchall is from Warrington, and she's the first blind person to circle the world on a motorbike. She travelled pillion with her fiancé, Bernard Smith, and they had some amazing adventures, including riding elephants in Nepal, feeding tigers in Thailand, and Kathy and Bernard were raising money for different charities for the blind along the way, and they met other visually impaired people to see what life was like for them in different countries. And Kathy and Bernard are with you now. Morning.
Morning.
So,
Morning.
Kathy, you were on the back of the bike.
That's right, yes.
All the way round.
All the way round.
Right, this may seem like a ridiculous question, and forgive my ignorance, but what's the point if you can't see?
There's lots of points to travelling like around the world when you can't see. We had a communication system within the bike, so Bernard could audio describe all the scenery. I used all my other senses, hearing, feeling, touching, and I met some amazing people along the way.
Right, so Bernard, you're on the front of the bike.
Yes.
So you're like a little one-man tour guide.
In many ways, yes.
Coming up a Nepalese temple. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yes, trying to describe it, trying to find sort of pictures, drawing pictures.
What was the hardest thing to describe?
Actually, it was the Sydney Opera House. The Sydney Opera House was impossible to describe, so I went in and convinced the Opera House to open up the shop, which was closed when we arrived there, and to get a model out that I could give to Kath, and then the problem was solved.
You're a genius, Bernard. A persuasive genius.
They were very nice, the Sydney Opera House.
Let's hope you only ever use your powers for good, because that's quite a power there. Open up the gift shop, crikey. So, what made you decide to do it? Whose idea was it? Kathy, was it yours?
Not originally. Bernard's always wanted to go around the world on a motorbike since he was about 17. When we met a couple of years later, we had the opportunity to do such a trip, and we wanted to make more of it. So the main idea is to raise awareness of vision impairment and what vision impaired people can do, and raise awareness in different countries of the organisations, the local organisations. And we had media coverage in Australia, India, Pakistan, various places, which raised their profile so people knew what was available. And also with the things that I did, such as climbing elephants, stroking tigers, climbing Winnie Picchu, the mountain overlooking Machu Picchu in Peru. And that was the main objective. Also, we have raised money for 3 charities here in the UK, which is Guide Dogs for the Blind Association, Royal National Institute of Blind People, and Action for Blind People. Right,
so what was the worst place to travel through for you, personally?
For me, the worst place to travel through was India, and that was related to the road conditions. In most places, there were no roads. It was dirt, sand, potholes, so he's bouncing all over the place. And also the traffic. There was the density of the traffic. Wagons and rickshaws and cars and bikes were all surrounding you, and there were even at some points cars were pushing the bike out of the way. You could feel the cars
They're
pushing
actually bumping you?
Yes, yes.
So a sore backside, a face full of grit, and the fact that you might come off at any minute.
Yes, yes.
And you can't see what's happening.
No, it was really, really frightening at that time. I thought it was going to come off and something was going to run over us. But thanks to Bernard's expertise on the bike, we are back here in one piece.
You're a hero, Bernard, as well as a genius. We're getting a picture of you now. Which was the worst bit for you as a driver, Bernard, as a rider of the bike?
There was 2 parts. Obviously, I agree with Kathy, because every day I thought I was going to die driving in India. There was 5 of us in India at the same time. One actually went home in a body bag. One went home in an air ambulance. And 3 of us would never ride a motorcycle in India ever again.
One of your fellow riders was killed?
Yeah, there was none with us. These were people we know of that were in the country at the same time. And 3 of us would never do. And
you wouldn't do it again?
Not unless, if I had no choice, I would have to do it.
Right.
But generally,
You wouldn't
no.
choose to.
I would never choose to ride a large capacity motorcycle in India again.
Where was the best place to ride a large capacity motorcycle through?
Oh, I think it'd have to be Australia, the States,
Really?
Canada, these sorts of
Big
places.
wide roads.
Big wide roads. So you get on mountain roads in Peru and Ecuador. No, not a large capacity road motorcycle, no.
I can't begin to imagine it. Absolutely phenomenal. Kathy, at any point, you know, I know the whole idea of the trip was to prove what visually impaired people can do, and that you know, life is as limitless for you as it is for anybody else. But at any point, did you think it would be nice to be able to see what was going on right now?
Obviously, things like that do cross your mind, but with the communication system that we had that was kindly donated by Autocom, Bernard did a really good job of the audio description, apart from in India and Ecuador when he had to concentrate solely on the road.
Did you switch it off because of all the effing and jeffing?
It wasn't
I'm switching
quite
you off
that
now,
bad.
I'm switching you off. I can't hear another four-letter word. I'm sorry, Bernard.
Actually, Kathy did quite a bit of that herself, so it's a two-way communication process.
It certainly was.
Oh dear. So you did it. How long did it take, Kathy?
11 months and 2 weeks.
11 months and 2 weeks.
Yes.
How come 11 months and 2 weeks?
Well, I had a 12 months career break
Right, so you had to
from
go back
Action
to
for
work.
Blind People, who are my employers, and I have to start back work on the 3rd of August.
So 2 weeks to do your washing.
Yes, that's right.
And go through the mail.
And go through, yeah, obviously, kick all the free papers away from the back of the door.
About 3 foot of mail.
Yeah. What have you got another trip planned?
We're pondering.
We're
Oh, yeah.
thinking about it.
What are you thinking?
We're thinking we'd like to work with somebody like the World Health Organization and
Yeah.
preventable eye disease in Africa, or the Fred Hollows, an Australian organisation, do an awful lot of work in Africa with glaucoma and cataracts and all preventable eye diseases, which we met a lot of people in India and in Nepal and places like that with preventable eye diseases. So we'd like to perhaps think about something like that in the future.
All the very best with that, and thank you for coming in and sharing your stories this morning. And Biscuit, the guide dog, is under the desk, and she's lovely.
Thank you.
As quiet as a mouse. Kathy Birchall there and Bernard Smith around the world on a big motorbike. Crikey.